and then the government will always bail them out. And bail them out with what? Bail them out with what money? Right? The government doesn't have money. The government goes to the Federal Reserve for the Federal Reserve to print money. And the money that is printed is not backed by anything. It says the global economic system must also deal with sovereign states being too big to fail. Do you understand? That's what I just said, right? Sovereign states as well. It's not only corporations, it's going into different states, right? Just like Greece, right? Just when you had the pigs nation, right? You had Portugal, Ireland, Greece, Spain, Italy, I think, right? You have these major sovereign states. Well, guess what? They're too big to fail. You're not gonna let Greece just fall to the waysides. No, you'll hit them with austerity measures, but you can't just let them go under. Like you're just gonna say, forget Greece. It doesn't work like that, because everything is interconnected. It is going to affect you and your country in some way, period. There's no getting around that, right? That's what they've created. They've created a global monster. It's a global catastrophe that's going to happen. So when everything does fail, it's going to fail together, right? Like dominoes. It's going to be a domino effect, right? It says opponents believe that one of the problems that arise is moral hazard, whereby a company that benefits from these protective policies will seek to profit by it. But of course, right? But of course, that's exactly what they're going to do. Let's go back to the video.
Just look at the Mediterranean. No. As a policy to impose poverty on Greece and the rest of the Mediterranean, you've done very well. And you're in denial.
And that's exactly what they've done. They've imposed poverty on Greece. But what have they done it by? They've done it through a thing called austerity measures, right? Austerity measures, which is basically putting a country through hard times. They cut back on everything, right? So Greece is going through a hard time right now, but that is going to happen on a global scale. It's going to happen to Britain as well, right? He's talking, but it's going to happen to them also. They're not exempt, right? Because their money is also failing.
Over Mrs. Merkel's call last year for as many people as possible to cross the Mediterranean into the European Union has led to massive divisions between countries and within countries. But
you heard what he said? Has led to divisions. That's how you know the scriptures are on point, man. How can Satan cast out Satan? Which is what that guy is doing. He's talking about his own people like he's the righteous one. You're an Edomite too, buddy. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And this is a beautiful thing. We're living in a beautiful time, man. We're watching our enemies crumble right before us, like the iron and miry clay mixed together, man.
The biggest problem you've got, and the main reason the United Kingdom voted the way that it did, is you have, by stealth, by deception, without ever telling the truth to the British or the rest of the peoples of Europe, you have imposed upon them a political union.
And he's right. These people are all he's a liar himself. And he has to be a liar because he's in politics, right? And that's all they do. They lie, they steal, they cheat. That's what politics is all about. It's all about gaining the upper hand on your opponent by any means necessary.
You've imposed upon them a political union. And when the people in 2005 in the Netherlands and France voted against that political union, when they rejected the Constitution, you simply ignored them and brought the Lisbon Treaty in through the back door. What happened? What happened last Thursday was a remarkable result. It was indeed a seismic result, not just for British politics, for European politics, but perhaps even for global politics too, because what the little people did, what the ordinary people did, what the people who've been oppressed over the last few years and seen their living standards go down, they rejected the multinationals, they rejected the merchant banks, they rejected big politics, and they said, actually, we want our country back. We want our fishing waters back. We want our borders back. We want to be an independent, self-governed.
Well, what the people don't understand is that their fishing waters, their businesses, their borders, that shit has already been sold. It's already been sold, right? It's just too much debt. All our countries are just in too much debt to these central banks. It's just way too much debt. Billions and trillions dollars worth of debt. It's too late to go back now, right? So the only thing left to do is to sell the people. The people are the collateral, right? You citizens, you are going to be the collateral for the debt. And the only solution out of the crisis is going to be to crash the dollar, because the dollar is finished, and to bring and to impose and to bring forth a microchip, an RFID chip, which goes into the mark of the beast. Simple and plain. That's the only way it's going to work. And to tag you people, because you people are already property, you're property of the central banks now, right? You are no longer going to be citizens, right, of a particular country, right? You'll only be that in word. You'll keep telling yourself that you're an American, you're a Canadian. No, you're just collateral on the debt. You're debt slaves, right? And somebody has to work and pay off that debt because your country is not able to pay it off. So you're going to have to pay it off.
Normal nation, and that is what we have done, and that is what must happen. And in doing so, we now offer a beacon of hope to Democrats across the rest of the European continent. I'll make one prediction this morning: the United Kingdom will not be the last member state to leave the European Union.
That's right, and that's a great prediction. Right? And the reason why it's a really good prediction is because it's biblical. It's a good prediction because it's biblical. Right? Going back to the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had that Daniel broke down. So that's why it's a really good prediction, because it's actually prophecy. Right? So it's not really him predicting it. It's already been prophesied that this is going to happen. So it's not like it's not going to come through. It's going to come through, right? There it is. This is Daniel 2, and let's start from 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, right? But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right? So this guy is on point, right?
So the question is, what do we do next? Now, it is up to the British government to invoke Article 50. And I have to say that I don't think we should spend too long in doing it. I totally agree, Mr. Juncker, that the British people have voted. We need to make sure that it happens. But what I would like to see is a grown-up and sensible attitude to how we negotiate a different relationship. Now, Now, I know that virtually none of you have ever done a proper job in your lives.
This Edomite. And he's right. But that goes for himself as well. And none of these guys have ever done a proper job in their life. They don't know nothing about working, man. These people, this is all they do all day is talk shit.
Or worked in business, or worked in trade, or indeed ever created a job. But listen.
Exactly. Or ever created a job. That's right, man, because all they do is rob you people, right? That's all they do. You people get robbed blind. Every year you people get robbed blind. And every year the debt goes up. Every single year the debt goes up. How come the debt's not going down? Right? They keep telling you they've done this, they've done that, but why does the debt keep rising? Because you people are being robbed. The money is going into their pockets. You know, people like to call out other so-called third world countries that their political leaders rob the people and, you know, this and that. Well, the first world countries do it as well. America does it to its people. Britain does it to its people. Russia does it to its people. That's what they do. They rob the people blind. That's all they do. But this guy, Nigel Farage, is making some good predictions, and I concur with his predictions, because they are biblical prophecy and they're gonna come true, man. It's already coming true. It's coming through right in front of our faces, right? I just wanted to bring that out real quick, and with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS, and to the brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.